Once upon a time, nestled in a cozy corner of a bustling city, lived a spirited young boy named Sam. Sam, with his sparkling eyes and infectious laughter, was the heart of the neighborhood. He was a beacon of joy, a whirlwind of energy, constantly on the move, exploring every nook and cranny of his familiar world. Sam's neighborhood was a kaleidoscope of experiences and wonders. The park where he played catch with his friends, the corner store with the candy jars lined up enticingly, the old tree with branches that stretched out like welcoming arms, each had a special place in Sam's heart. These were the landmarks of his childhood, the places that had seen him grow, laugh, and learn. His friends were an integral part of his universe. Together, they shared countless adventures, from climbing the tallest trees to racing down the hill on their bikes. Their laughter echoed through the streets, a testament to their camaraderie and shared experiences. Their bond was stronger than the toughest steel, formed through countless hours of shared play and mutual support. Then there was Sam's school, a stone's throw away from his home. The teachers knew him well, appreciating his curious mind and lively spirit. The school was a second home, a place where he not only learned about the world but also discovered his passions and talents. His daily activities revolved around this institution, from the morning rush to catch the school bus, to the late afternoon study sessions in the library. Every aspect of Sam's life was rooted in familiarity and comfort. The neighborhood, his friends and his school, these were the pillars of his existence, the constants in his life. He was an integral part of a tightly knit community, a world he knew like the back of his hand. But as the saying goes, change is the only constant in life. Sam's world was soon to take a turn as he was about to step into a new chapter of his life. Little did he know, his resilience and spirit were about to be tested in ways he could never have imagined. With a heavy heart and a moving van filled to the brim, Sam and his family said goodbye to their old neighborhood and headed towards their new home. As Sam's eyes roved over the unfamiliar landscape of his new neighborhood, a sense of unease settled in. It was an odd jigsaw puzzle of unfamiliar houses, winding streets and towering trees that seemed to reach up and touch the sky. The buildings were much taller, the streets busier, and the trees denser than back home. This was a stark contrast to the small, friendly neighborhood he had left behind, where every face was familiar, every corner held a memory. Sam's first few days in his new surroundings were challenging. He missed the familiarity of his old neighborhood, the comfort of his childhood friends, and the safety of knowing every nook and cranny. The unfamiliarity of his new environment felt like an unending maze, each turn leading to more confusion. Add to this the loneliness. Oh, the loneliness. It was a constant companion to Sam in those early days. He missed his friends, their shared laughter, their shared secrets. He longed for the comfort of familiar faces, the ease of old friendships. But here, in this new neighborhood, he was a stranger. He was the new kid, an outsider. However, as Sam navigated the labyrinth of his new neighborhood, he began to see it under a different light. He started noticing the beauty of the towering trees, the diversity of the houses, and the rhythm of the bustling streets. He started to appreciate the newness, the unfamiliar, the different. It was not the same as his old neighborhood, but it had its own charm. Yet, it was not just about the physical environment, it was about the people too. The friendly waves from the neighbors, the invitations to join the local kids at the park, the welcoming smiles, they all made Sam feel a little less like an outsider. As days turned into weeks, Sam began to realize that he had to find a way to adapt to his new surroundings. He understood that this new neighborhood with its winding streets and towering trees was now his home, and he was ready to embrace it. The morning sun shone brightly as Sam nervously stepped through the gates of his new school. He could feel a knot of anxiety tightening in his stomach. The school was an ocean of unfamiliar faces, and Sam was a lone boat adrift. He knew that being the new kid was never easy. It was like stepping into a story that had already begun, attempting to find your place in an already established narrative. The school bell rang, its shrill sound echoing through the corridors, and Sam felt his heart race. He took a deep breath, reminding himself that this was just a new chapter in his life. He walked into his first class, the smell of chalk and textbooks filling his nostrils. He was greeted by a sea of curious eyes, each one trying to figure out the new boy in their midst. His teachers were kind, their warm smiles offering him a sense of comfort. They introduced him to the class, and although he could see a few hesitant smiles, he also noticed a few curious and welcoming ones. He was the new puzzle piece, and it was up to him to fit into the picture. Lunchtime came around, and with it the challenge of finding a place to sit. He scanned the cafeteria, the noise of chatter and laughter bouncing off the walls. Finally, He spotted an empty seat and headed towards it, his heart pounding in his chest. He was met with friendly nods and a few introductions. He found himself chatting with a group of students, their conversation revolving around their shared love for comic books. As the day wore on, Sam began to feel a little less like a stranger. He had shared a few laughs, learned a few names, and even participated in class discussions. The school, which had seemed so intimidating in the morning, now felt a bit more welcoming. Despite the initial hiccups, Sam returned home that day with a glimmer of hope, ready to face the challenges that lay ahead. The first day at his new school was over, and although it was far from perfect, it was a start. And sometimes that's all we need, a start. With each passing day, Sam discovered something new about his neighborhood and school. Like a seasoned explorer mapping out uncharted territories, he navigated the winding roads of his new environment, constantly unearthing hidden treasures. Sam's journey was not without its challenges. The unfamiliar sights and sounds of the new neighborhood, the unfamiliar faces at school, each presented its own set of hurdles. But Sam, with his unwavering determination and resilience, took it all in stride. He started by learning the names of the streets in his neighborhood, making mental notes of landmarks that would serve as his guiding stars. He made a point of greeting his neighbors with a warm smile and a friendly wave, slowly transforming those unfamiliar faces into friendly ones. In school, he found solace in the welcoming embrace of his teachers, who went out of their way to make him feel at home. He formed bonds with his classmates, finding common ground in shared interests and activities. He thrived in the academic challenges, his curiosity piqued by new subjects and fresh perspectives. Slowly but surely, Sam began to see his new school not as a daunting fortress of uncertainty, but as a beacon of opportunities. He reveled in the diversity of his classmates, each one bringing a unique set of experiences and perspectives that enriched his own. He found joy in their shared laughter, camaraderie in their shared struggles. With every passing day, Sam's apprehension faded, replaced by a growing fondness for his new environment. He realized that he was not just adapting to his new surroundings, but also transforming them, infusing them with his own unique charm and spirit. His new neighborhood, once a maze of unfamiliar streets, was now a vibrant tapestry of friendly faces and memorable landmarks. His new school, once a fortress of uncertainty, was now a treasure trove of knowledge, camaraderie, and exciting opportunities. Sam soon discovered that change, though initially scary, could also bring about new opportunities and adventures. And with that realization, Sam embraced his new life, armed with a newfound sense of confidence and a heart full of excitement for the adventures yet to come. Scene script. Months passed by and Sam was no longer the new kid on the block, but a part of the vibrant, diverse community he now called home. Let's take a moment to reflect on Sam's journey. From the initial discomfort of leaving his old comforts, to the challenge of adapting to an unfamiliar neighborhood and school, his experience has been a roller coaster of emotions. But it was through these trials that Sam discovered something invaluable about himself. He learned that change, while unsettling at first, is not something to fear. Rather, it is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Sam realized that stepping out of his comfort zone was not a punishment, but a chance to broaden his horizons, meet new people, and learn new things. He learned the importance of resilience. He understood that setbacks and challenges are a part of life, not an end to it. When faced with difficulties, Sam discovered his inner strength, his ability to bounce back, and an unwavering spirit that refused to give in. He learned the value of adaptability. Sam found that being open to change, flexible in his approach, and willing to adjust, made the transition smoother and less intimidating. He discovered that adaptability was not about giving up who he was, but about evolving and growing with the changes around him. Most importantly, he learned about the power of openness. Sam opened his heart to the people around him, embracing their differences and learning from their experiences. He discovered that diversity is not a barrier, but a treasure trove of rich insights and perspectives that enrich our lives. As the sun set over his new neighborhood, Sam realized that he had not just adapted to a new environment, but he had grown, learned, and become a better version of himself. A version that was more resilient, more adaptable, and more open to the world around him. A version that was ready to face whatever life had in store for him with a newfound confidence and a heart full of hope.